Hello and welcome back. I'm Zelda Kelly, and here we are in the second part of reading cards within 1 hour. Now, we're going to talk about the numbers associated with each card. In each four suits, each card are numbered in the minor arcana. Now, the one thing that's really important I really want to stress with you is there are elements to these cards. The wands are fire. The cups are water, the swords are air, and the pentacles are earth. And we're going to go over some really cool little aspects about identifying your client or other people by their zodiac sign within the tarot. So stay tuned with that. So let's get started. We're going to start out with the Ace of Cups. Isn't this a pretty card? Now you can tell by looking at this, relatively positive. This means there is a new beginning, a new potential, and new opportunities coming. There is a benevolent hand coming out on all four aces that basically says, look, here's some additional help. Here is some basic information to help you get kickstarted in whatever it is that you want to do. As you may have already guessed, the cups represent emotional and love situations. And we'll get into more of that later. But since we have the cups out right now, I want to get into that. The twos. The Two of Cups here is balance, partnership, and decision. Sometimes you can get a reconciliation. Sometimes you can work this out. Depending upon your other cards, this can be either a love reconciliation, a family, or even a business partnership. And I'm going to say this. You see these little two entwined snakes there. That is a medical symbol that is used many times that you see in doctors' offices and so forth. For me, my interpretation of that, and I'm going to share it with you, is that sometimes when we come together and we work things out, that's better than a lot of medicine. Sometimes when we're at each other's throats, or we're at an impasse, or we're angry and we're upset and we've separated and we're filled with anxiety and all types of negative emotions, when we come back and we work it out, there is a wonderful, I'm just going to say, healing that goes involved with that. So that's how I look at things with this particular card. Now, the threes. I love this card because it can also help you give timing. It can also, I call it the high celebration card because that's just basically what it is. However, it means growth, creativity, collaboration, working together, being together, making things work out. Sometimes when I'm really looking for timing in a card, if this particular card comes out, well, look at the pumpkins there and the foliage. I can basically say that that is the fall or the autumn of the year for the inquirer. So that's why you have to have a relationship with your own cards, because they'll help you to interpret what it is and how you're reading. And that's the most important part. Definitely, they have something to celebrate. And the red on this particular card is definitely a power color. Reds are power color in the tarot. This four, now this guy cracks me up because you have this hand coming out and say, okay, see, there you go. Are you being a little stubborn? The fours mean stability, structure, and foundation. But sometimes we have to think things over and make a decision, and it's very hard to do. And if we get a little stubborn, we may have a sign come out to help us make that decision. So just remember, if you need structure, stability, foundation, needing to know where you stand, this card will definitely help you do that. The number 4. Number 5. The fives mean conflicts, changes, upsets, challenges. just as an example, I want you to look at this card. This person is very upset because there are 3 cups that are broken and spilled out on the ground. But you see, they're totally ignoring the 2 that they have left, which is still a blessing. So it's telling us to not overlook things, to not be so into ourselves that we're just focused on one thing and not accepting or believing or seeing the rest. See the bridge in the background? This is a situation in which some people must cross over to realize what is happening in their lives. So that's number 5. Just remember, these numbers are all across the board, and I'm giving you a little bit of each card, okay? Look at this 6 of Cups. Yes, I like that. I've got a lot about this card I want to tell you very quickly. The 6s are harmony, progress, recovery, coming together, and to me, they're also memories. You can create new memories. But you see there's some elements in this card. This is the only card in the 4 suits or in the cup suit that has each cup filled with flowers without some type of negativity going on. This little boy, it's a red power position, is giving this cup of flowers to this little girl, creating a new memory, creating a new situation, creating harmony and being together. I almost said conflict, didn't I? Recovery. Well, you have to recover from this card. But I'm also going to point out some things, and as you read your cards, I want you to look at them because they're going to help you tell the story. And that's what reading tarot is. It's telling a story for your client. Look at this. You see there's a little face in her hair. Now, I'm sure you can see that. What does that mean? She may be looking at things differently than him. She may look at something, she may have a misunderstanding. She may have to think about things a little more than what he does. But look at this, and when you get a full-size deck, I'm using just a smaller size so they will fit in the camera lens. But look, there's somebody walking away. That means they're moving on. Someone, it may be a new relationship coming together, and the person that was formerly in the relationship must move on. There's many different interpretations, and yes, it just depends on which card associated with the number and which suit. So remember, the numbers are always the same, but the cards and their elements, so this is water, and it really is telling the emotional story, okay? This is number 7, a very interesting card. This number 7, 7s are assessment, reflection, and even strategy. Now, the reason this person is voided out here is because we're not supposed to be focusing on him. We are supposed to be focusing on what's going on with these cards, and it means that we may have to make an emotional, remember water, cups, emotions. We may have to make an emotional decision. Your client may have to do that based on the circumstances. Also, just remember, some things are not as though they seem. We may pick this beautiful cup with this beautiful wreath, but look closer at the face on that cup. So you see, your cards are definitely going to tell the story. The next card is the number 8. The number 8 means you're making movement, you're making change, and there is an action within the number 8. As an example, you see these cups are all lined up. The one that's missing is the number 9. It's the 9th cup. So my interpretation of this card is not that you're just giving up and walking away, but then you're walking towards, because you've done everything that you possibly can do, and now you're walking toward number 9, because that is what's missing. So you're going to take that strategy to move on to number 9. And what is number 9? Fulfillment, completion, attainment. And the 9 of Cups is the 9 of Cups only now, not the other suits, but the 9 of Cups only is the yes card. The 9 of Cards is your the Cups, 9 of Cups, is your wish fulfilled, your heart's desire, your goal attained. Now this is an exciting card, because if you're doing yes and no, when this card comes up, first, it is a yes, and we'll talk about that as well. Here is the number 10. The 10 in all of the cards, every suit, is completion. It's a culmination. It's the results. And basically it means that you've learned the lesson, and now you're getting ready to go on to the next phase. That's exactly what you're going to be doing. That is such a great card for you to be dealing with. The number 10, when it shows up, it means, phew, now you're going to get a fresh start. And that's exactly what this is. Now we have some royals and court cards. And all around, let me just say this, the pages, no matter what suit, the pages make announcements. They tell you, they send you messages. They give you a forewarning of what is about to come. You see, he's giving you this cup of information. That's one thing. And by the way, the fish is the spirit guide of the cup suit, and it's because it's water. Okay? So here we go. Who is next? The Knight of Cups. This Knight of Cups is an action card. So this guy will tell you that things are about to happen, and this guy, the action fellow, is going to bring it to pass. So you see, he's bringing this information of this cup of peace, or the cup of emotion, or just whatever the outline cards may be. He is bringing this to you so you can get a better idea of what's going on. Now, that's an action card, so he's going to put things into motion, and that's what you've got to remember. The queens of all suits are the nurturing. They're nurturing, they're loving, they're intuitive. Now, see, in this Queen of Cups, she's got all these pebbles. These are memories that she's remembering all this wonderful time. So she's the nurturing. Those are the queens of all elements. And then the king. These guys are the authoritative figures. They put their foot down, you see. They make sure that when they say goes, they make sure that the foundation of what's going on in the cards is steady. That's what they like. So no matter what suit it is, those court cards will all have the same properties, different meanings, but properties, all right? So that's what we have for this particular segment. I'm so glad that you're here, and stay tuned for part 3, and we'll cover some more things.